guys, good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Skincare. Tonight's episode we're going to be talking about skin peels, so what they are, what they do, and perhaps even doing a little bit of myth busting around skin peels and the different types and what happens. As I begin all my episodes, if you haven't already done so and you want to have a quick analysis of your skin at home, then pop along to tkaesthetics.com and have a look at the skin inventory page. Complete your skin inventory and you'll have a list of things that you'd like addressed either by your home care products or by treatments once you're back in clinics. Okay, so tonight, as I said, we're going to do a little bit of talk a little bit about skin peels. Now, for a lot of you, your idea of the way you look after a skin peel may well look something like this. So that's it, from Patsy from AbFab with a face that is peeling off. Yes, some of the peels that are available do go to this depth, but actually a lot of the peels that we use in the aesthetics don't actually go to this depth. And actually the downtime is pretty minimal afterwards, so a little bit of redness afterwards, and actually you can go about your normal day directly afterwards. So not all the peels go to this depth, and so peels are very, very accessible treatments that can do a range of different things, depending on what type of peel you're actually going for, or what type of peel your clinician thinks is most suitable for you. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the different types of peels. So you may well recognize some of the ingredients that we'll talk about as we go along. So some of the things like salicylic acid you'll find in certain skincare products. But these are in much lower concentrations than you'd find in the peels that we're using in clinic as part of a treatment. So some of the examples that we might have that you'd have heard of will be alpha hydroxy acid. So examples there would be glycolic acid, lactic acid, and citric acid. Beta hydroxy acid, so the common one would be salicylic acid. Trichloroacetic acid, which is TCA, and phenols, which tend to be used for deeper peels. And I don't personally work with those, and they tend to be for deeper peels that you might get at a dermatologist or plastic surgeons. And then finally, some of the things you might also get is you might get some combination peels. So these are particularly where they've been formulated by the manufacturer to have specific targeted areas. So there might be some acne peels, there might be some peels for pigmentation, or things like that. Okay, so here in the clinic, I use two different brands. So I use Mesopeel, which is from Mesoaesthetic, and they have a range of different sort of mono peels. So in other words, just one ingredient, and then they have a couple of combination peels as well. Some of their peels are in part of their treatment. I also use Amazon from Juliette Armand, and again, they have individual peels, and then some of the peels, as we've already mentioned, are in some of their specialist treatments, such as their skin booster treatments. So there are a couple of brands that I use. We're going to talk about each of the different peels and what they do. When it comes to peels and using peels, it's important that you understand what the actual peel is for. And then during a course of peels, you may not stick to the one peel. You may well use different peels, or you may well go up in strength on the peels, depending on how your skin is behaving and how it's responding to the actual peel. So one of the first things that we look at is lactic acid. Now, lactic acid, as we all know, the myth of Cleopatra bathing in ass's milk. And so lactic acid is found in milk, generally soured milk or slightly gone off milk. This is quite good for dehydrated or pigmented skin. It's quite a light acid peel. It's good for dull skin. I should say that all of the peels do the job of exfoliating. But exfoliating is not the only thing that we're using peels for, and that's really, really important. So it's not just about the exfoliation element. Essentially what they do is they break down the adhesive, if you like, that's holding together the top layers of our skin and give us a much fresher appearance. So they all do that. But there are also some other important things, depending on what acid we're using, that have kind of deeper effects as well. And they all encourage cell renewal and skin turnover, which is a really, really important part of what we're trying to achieve with a peel. So going back to lactic acid then, so we can help to reduce the appearance of lines, so both expression and superficial wrinkles, striae, so stretch marks, can help with rosacea skin and can help to improve the skin's tone. As I said, lactic is quite a mild acid, and again, all the acids come in different strengths. So we started off at quite a low strength with a low period, a short amount of time, and then gradually build up. It's recommended, although you do get benefit from a single pill, that actually a course of treatments is in fact better, and you do get better results from that. Second one is another alpha hydroxy acid that I want to talk about, and it's glycolic acid. And glycolic acid is derived from sugarcane, and it is suitable for most skin types. It's really, really good at sort of the anti-aging stuff. So it helps against wrinkles, helps against dullness, helps against pigmentation. Reduces photo damage as well. So again, pigmentation and photo damage helps to renew those. Can be used on the neck area as well to help improve that. And to improve the appearance. And people sometimes forget, a lot of people focus on the face, but actually the neck and the back of the hands can also be really important areas as well, where our skin becomes aged quickly because they're exposed to the elements, and so they also need a little bit of treatment and a bit of TLC as well. Glycolic acid also helps to increase collagen and elastin production. It speeds up cell renewal, and the glycolic acid, when we get up into the higher strengths, can actually be quite a good peel, and you can get quite significant changes in appearance with glycolic acid. Mandelic acid, which is derived from bitter almonds, and exfoliates again. It's got antibacterial properties. It controls sebum, reduces pigmentation, reduces dilated pores, improves skin tones, and helps to reduce acne. So again, quite a good all-rounder, one that I would use quite frequently before treatments. So I like to combine peels sometimes with other treatments. So for instance, if I was doing a microneedling treatment, then I might do a light mandelic peel beforehand, or indeed a lactic acid peel, to help prepare the skin and to help improve the effects of the microneedling. I may also do that prior to a mesotherapy treatment, which we'll be talking about next week. And that helps to enhance the overall effectiveness of these individual treatments. And as I've mentioned before, they're also incorporated into some of the Juliette Armand skin booster treatments, so they can be quite an important element to it as well. Sorry, I didn't show you the mandelic slide there. So there you go, there's the mandelic slide. The last one that I'm going to talk about this evening is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is derived from aspirin, or the white willow. It's very good for oily and acneic skin because it's a beta-hydroxy acid. So slightly different acid, slightly different function, and this helps to control sebum, cuts through oiliness that we find on the skin, has fantastic anti-inflammatory properties, and is good for both comedogenic and inflammatory acne. So ones that are producing the blackheads and the whiteheads, and also for anti-inflammatory properties. Again, though, remembering that all of these increase cell turnover, remove dead skin cells from the outer surface of the skin, and help to improve the skin's appearance. Okay, so as I said as well, we also have some combination peels. So combination peels are formulated for things like dealing with hyperpigmentation, for acneic skin, or in fact then some of the more general sort of all-round peels that you're getting a little bit of elements of both, of two different types of acid built into the one peel. And they're the type of peels that you'll find at the Juliette Armand, but they can also be used separately as well, some of the mesoaesthetic ones. What's important about peels? So peels are really suitable for most skin types, and depending on what your skin type is, there will usually be a peel that will be there to help. It can be combined with other treatments, as I've already mentioned, but it is really, really important that to get maximal benefits from peels, if you're using them as a single standalone treatment, is to have a course of treatments. And that's normally 5 to 6 treatments about 2 weeks apart, and then you can go on to a maintenance regime after that. If you have any questions about peels, then please do pop them into the comment section, either now live, or if you want to pop them in afterwards, then I will get around to answering them for you. So important things about it, making sure as well that it's part of both a preparatory stage. So you're usually asked to prepare the skin beforehand, and that helps to improve the effectiveness of the peel. And then there's an important home care regime afterwards. And so using peels as a full treatment package, then it is quite important, and it is quite comprehensive, and can help to address lots and lots of different problems, including, as I said, the signs of aging, hyperpigmentation, rosacea, acne, all those type of dull skin, dry skin, dehydrated skin can all be treated and helped with different types of peels. The trick is knowing and using the right peels for the particular skin type that you're looking for. So I think that's all I have this week on skin peels. If you have any questions though, if you last chance, if you want to pop them into the comments now. I'm going to do 2 more episodes of Let's Talk Skincare. So next week I'm going to look at mesotherapy, what it is and what the treatment is and what sort of things it can treat. And on the last week then I'm going to do a little bit of a roundup. So if people have questions that they still would like answered, we'll look at some of the things that we've already looked at, some of the highlights if you like, of the last what will then be 15 weeks. If people have questions then they can send them in to me beforehand and I'll answer them then. So this week, next week, as I said, we're going to be looking at mesotherapy, and I'm going to talk you through what mesotherapy is, what it can be used to treat, and how we go about that in the clinic. And then the following week, we're going to do a little bit of a roundup of some of the questions and queries. And if anybody has any further questions and queries, then please do post them. So I haven't had any questions posted tonight, so I'm going to say good night, and I will catch you all next week when we'll be having a look at mesotherapy and what it is and what it can be used for.